This is the plaintiff, Denise Bonfiglio. She says she paid the defendant a commission to find her a nice place to live, moved in, and promptly had to turn around and move out the very same day. The landlord took one look at her biracial daughter, told her her kind isn't welcome there, and she immediately panicked and just started crying right on the spot. The defendant did not deliver on his promise, and she wants the $1,500 broker's fee she paid returned. This is the defendant, Wes Mazzara. He says the plaintiff got into some kind of disagreement with the landlord of the building on the very first day. According to the guy, she tried having more people live in the place than she let on and decided to leave when told that was a no-no. As far as her allegation of racism goes, he knows nothing about it. He's accused of not doing his due diligence.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated and come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Denise Bonfiglio and Brian Flood. You have power of attorney for Brian Flood. That's who? Your grandfather?
My grandfather.
Okay. You are suing the realty company. You've asked us not to mention the name of the company. We respect that. Represented here by Wes. Can you pronounce your last name?
Mazzara.
Wes Mazzara. You are the managing broker. Okay. So you are not the owner of the realty company. You are...
I'm the manager.
The manager of the realty company.
Office.
All right, for $1,500, you want back the broker's fee because it didn't work out in this apartment.
Right.
Tell me what happened.
I went to their real estate. I was speaking with Kieran from their real estate. That's who my agent was. We found an apartment the day I moved in. They didn't meet my daughter.
They what?
They never got to meet my daughter yet. That was the first time. I never met the landlord. Everything was done through the agent. The day that I moved in, I met the landlord. He was fine with me.
Wait, who didn't? I'm sorry.
I never got to meet the landlord.
All right, so they didn't meet you either. They didn't meet anybody. They didn't care to meet who was coming in. Okay,
No.
Go ahead.
When I got there, they took the money from the Kieran, gave me the keys, told me I could move in the same day. Still didn't meet my daughter because she was in school. I started moving my belongings in about 9 p.m. that night. The husband came home, which is the landlord, told me my kind wasn't welcomed.
What does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
My daughter's father was there. He's black. My daughter's a half black.
What the heck does that have to do with anything?
He told me I had to leave because
Who said that? The landlord?
The landlord told me I had to leave because my kind was not welcome.
Okay, was there some discussion before that phrase was uttered?
I never spoke with him.
You hadn't had any disagreement with him?
Nothing. I was moving my stuff in and out.
When he said that, was your daughter's father present?
Yes, they were all present.
And
my mother, her father.
Did he wipe the floor with him? Like what happened? Tell me. You have to tell me more than what you're telling me, because obviously more happened than what you're saying.
He wanted to get into it with him, but I don't resort to violence, and I didn't want nobody getting arrested.
Okay, so he heard the phrase?
He heard the phrase and looked at me because I was bawling already, and I just called Kieran.
Wait. Okay, back it up. Back it up. You're moving in, and the landlord stays around while you're moving in.
No, he was nobody. The wife was there with the kids. Everybody, it was fine all day. The wife didn't complain to me as we were moving in. We weren't making a lot of noise. Nothing. The husband came home later on that evening and called Kieran. I already knew the problem as Kieran's calling me.
Wait. You're talking to me about a conversation the husband has with the agent.
Kieran called me. It already had happened.
Okay, so tell me about it. That's what I'm asking you. Don't get to
the landlord knocked on the door and told me to come outside so he could speak with me.
Right. And then what's the first? I want to hear every word that was uttered.
He said to me, honestly, I can't have your kind around my children and around my family. I can't bring this into this neighborhood. Your kind's not welcomed here.
Just like that?
Just like that.
And who's present when he says that to you?
My mother.
Your mother's standing next to you when he says that to you?
We were all standing at the front door.
So when he says come outside to talk, everybody comes outside to talk?
I didn't even get outside my front door before he started talking.
And your child's father...
was putting her bed together.
So he did hear it or he didn't hear it?
He didn't hear what he said. He seen me come in the house crying when I went into the bedroom. Started crying. I was like, don't even put it together. Just grab some stuff, let's go.
I thought you said earlier he heard it. He didn't hear it?
He didn't hear it at first. When he walked out, the landlord was still going in his language at me.
What do you mean in his language?
Russian. They were talking in their language back and forth, him and his wife.
Wait. Okay, he and his wife, because you don't speak Russian.
No.
Okay,
and then they spoke with me because I was crying, hysterical, like, what am I supposed to do? How you just gonna evict me? I just gave you all my money. I have nowhere to go with my child. And he just looked at me, and he was like, but your kind can't come here. My children, they're not raised like this.
Like what?
I don't know. The moving company
What's going on?
I'm going to deny everything that she's claiming. pretty much.
On what basis? Are you the realtor who she spoke with, or no?
I am not the realtor who's. Well,
okay.
Let me start off by saying the landlord is not Russian. Okay, the landlord is Middle Eastern, and as far as a transaction taking place, it did with my office. She rented an apartment through my agency. She lived there for 2 days, and after 2 days, there was an issue between her and the landlord.
What was the issue?
I do not know what the issue was.
Okay, well then why don't you bring me here today a witness who does know? Because the fact that you're the manager is all nice and happy, but it doesn't qualify you to be a witness in court. Where is the person who she dealt with? That's who I want to talk to. Because that's a person who she then called and said this and that happened. And if she never mentioned, look, one of two things is the truth. You're saying, I'm going to deny it. Well, that's great, but you can't just deny it. You have to have a basis to deny it. You have to have a basis to contradict the sworn testimony I just got here in court. Because if it's true that the landlord, whether he's Middle Eastern, Russian, or from Kansas, says to her, we don't like your kind, and your kind's it is not only illegal federally, it is illegal statewide, and she ain't gonna pay you.
Absolutely.
She ain't gonna pay you. That's how it's gonna work. Because that's not finding her an apartment, okay? Yes. So I need to know whether that's the truth or something else is the truth, and she's using this as an excuse and pulling a race card. See? Because I'm not gonna permit that. But in order to come to that conclusion, you gotta meet me halfway, dude. You can't just walk in and say, I deny it.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is racial discrimination still an issue when people rent apartments?
Yes, I think so.
What do you say? I mean, I thought this is 2010, something like that.
Year doesn't make difference?
Doesn't make a difference? What do you think?
No, it still goes on every day, daily basis.
You think so?
I think so.
Who thinks it's kind of like a thing of the past here? Anybody? Interesting. Everybody does, huh? You think so?
No, I think it still exists.
It still exists.
We see it around all the time.
You know what? Sadly, I think you're right. Going inside the courtroom.
Your Honor, I have a statement signed by the realtor.
By the realtor? Why isn't the realtor here, sir?
He is not available.
What does that mean? What is he doing that's more important than talking to Judge Millian about this?
Earning money.
Good. Because I'm going to take that into account when I rule. Okay?
Okay.
Because if he thinks earning money today, this very second, which of course can be postponed until an hour from now, after court, is more important than coming here, you got another thing coming if you think I'm going to believe that. What that tells me is that you and the owner of the realty are worried about getting this guy in front of me to get cross-examined. That's what that tells me. Because either one of two things is true. He's so desperate for money, he has a deal that absolutely can't be postponed, which I know is not true. Or you just don't want to subject him to cross-examination in front of me because he may fold like a cheap suit. And it'll hurt your case. That's when people don't bring me a witness. Now, what about the landlord? Do you have something from the landlord?
I do not.
So your entire case is based on this piece of paper here saying?
My entire case is based on the fact that she signed a contract with our realty company for us to assist her in locating an apartment.
There's no question about that. That's not the issue here.
The fact that she's claiming she didn't meet the landlord, that's fine. She didn't meet the landlord. But there's no reason for the landlord not to accept who she is or what she's about.
Listen to me. Racism exists.
It does exist.
Okay, now stop. She just gave me a set of facts. Okay? Mom, come on up. How did it happen?
Well, the first thing that happened was she was playing outside with their 2 kids. And I heard the woman say, take her around to me right on the side where her entrance was, and to send her in the house. And I heard her tell the kids, you can't play with her no more. So I said to her, my granddaughter, why can't you play with them?
They live there too? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah.
Okay, now there's 2 witnesses who are telling me how it happened. You weren't there.
I was not.
How are you going to contradict what she said? Do you suggest for one moment, if it happened exactly as they're saying, do you really think that you're entitled to keep the realtor fee?
If it happened that way, I am not entitled.
Okay, now let's take us to the next level then. How are you going to contradict the sworn test? This is not my first time either. I know people play a race card. Sure. I know that people can play a race card.
Absolutely.
I look at things critically.
Absolutely.
Okay, but you know what? You're like dead here because not only are 2 people who are completely believable telling me the story.
Okay.
All right, but also you have the audacity to come to court.
It's not an audacity.
It is audacity to come to court yourself when you are clueless about this whole case and not bring me at least the one person who she immediately called and said something to.
Okay.
I mean that doesn't put you in a very good position.
It's not audacity, Your Honor.
It is audacity. It is. It's audacity.
Your opinion.
My opinion, yes. And let me tell you, the only opinion that matters in this room, the one
With all due respect,
with
you're right.
the lady wearing the black dress.
Right.
Your opinion would be relevant and valuable if you were the judge or if you had testimony.
I have no
But I have
testimony.
a disgusting set of circumstances in
Okay.
front of me and zero contradiction on your part.
Correct.
I just have you with a haughty attitude telling me that's your opinion. By the way, did the landlord give you all your money back?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a jerk who doesn't want his kids to play with somebody who he thinks is, by the way, I assume you've had the relevant conversations with your daughter about how hateful, outrageous, and ridiculous the conduct of this landlord is. Right, Mama? You get it, right? You get it because you're more mature than the landlord and apparently the realtors. All right, awesome. There is absolutely no evidence on the part of the realty firm to contradict the evidence that I find credible, especially under the circumstances that I hear it. Because this isn't just a case where someone comes up and says, he called me this racial slur and he called me that way. This is something that has legs to it. The
Sure.
child is
Absolutely.
playing with other with the landlord. The landlord has this horrible seat inside,
Absolutely.
and then the landlord turns around and says,
Right.
"You know what? As far as I'm concerned, that you didn't get her an apartment. You got her a place that is a federal violation of her
Sure.
rights and a state violation of her rights. Give her
She's-
back the
that's why she
$1,500.
went and
That's what's going to happen.
contacted
I don't
all the
care.
agencies
That is
and did what
exactly
she
how
had
it's
to
going to
do, Your
happen.
Honor.
You will pay back that $1,500. My
Fine.
verdict is for you, and good for you for standing up for your rights and your daughters."
Well, after that, let's see what the defendant has to say about coming out here. There wasn't much of a defense in there.
There
Because you
wasn't.
didn't have any witnesses or anything.
It doesn't matter. The judge
Doesn't
just
matter.
judge wanted to go off on her own and
No,
do
the
what
judge
the-
was looking for some testimony on your side.
Listen, the judge took one statement and called it a day. And
How
that's
come you didn't bring somebody who was involved? A
I
witness.
had a statement here. The fact of discrimination of any kind, this is the first time it's being brought up today. This was their way of doing what they had to do. If
You don't believe the story?
I don't believe the story. This is not the first time we've rented this gentleman's apartments, and it's not the last
I
time.
wish you had brought the landlord. That would have been a
It
good
doesn't
witness.
matter. It is
right.
what it is.
Okay, you go right down this way. All right, so come on in here. So you tell me one thing. Who's the cutest girl in this courtroom right now?
My mom?
Well, we know the answer to that. All right, so you satisfied how this verdict comes out?
Very
I'm
good.
very satisfied, but it's still wrong what they did.
The judge was complimentary to you for coming in here and fighting for rights and all that stuff. How about where you're living now? How's it going?
I love it.
Tell us about it.
It's bigger, nicer. The landlord lives with me. He has no problem with black issues. It's awesome.
You like your new place?
Yeah.
All right. Over to Harvey.
If you are the victim of anything like this, of racial discrimination when you're trying to rent an apartment, there's a state housing agency that a lot of states have. It's called the Fair Employment and Housing. And you can go and you can file a complaint against a landlord who may be basically turning you down because of who you are. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.